Now, let me ask you, what if I told you that a tiny mistake in your import process could result in hours of frustration, or worse, skew your financial report so badly that it ends up costing you time, money, and possibly even your reputation? But what if I also told you that by the end of this video, you'll not only know exactly how to import your chart of accounts seamlessly, but you'll also learn tips that even experienced accountants often overlook. Stay with me, because this isn't just another QuickBooks tutorial. We're going to deep dive into strategies that will transform the way you handle your accounting, ensuring accuracy and peace of mind for your business. Why your chart of accounts is the most critical part of your financial system. You see, the chart of accounts, or COA, isn't just a random list of accounts. It's the DNA of your financial system. Think of it as the blueprint that determines how your business's finances flow. Literally everything revolves around it. Whether it's income from sales, the cost of rent, employee salaries, or taxes, every single financial transaction in your business needs to be categorized correctly within your chart of accounts. Now here's a stat that will make you sit up. Over 60% of small businesses report financial errors due to poor setup in their COA. Why does this matter? Simple. These errors don't just mess with your reports, they affect your decision-making. Imagine trying to plan your company's future when your financial reports are, well, wrong. It's like flying blindfolded, and trust me, that's not where you want to be. Most people make the mistake of thinking that once their COA is set up, they're good to go forever. But here's the thing. A good COA is dynamic. As your business grows, your financial needs will change, and your COA should reflect that. This is why properly importing it into QuickBooks is so critical. It's not just about getting the data in there. It's about making sure it's structured in a way that scales with your business. So if you're new to QuickBooks, or even if you've been using it for years, but still find yourself scratching your head over your COA, you're in the right place. By the way, if you're looking to take your financial knowledge even further, make sure to check out Education Bench, your go-to platform for expert-led courses on QuickBooks, accounting, and financial management. We've got in-depth tutorials, real-world examples, and personalized guidance to help you master every aspect of your business finances. Before you even think about importing, here's what you need to do. All right, before we get to the import process itself, let's talk preparation. This is the part most people skip, and it's why they end up making mistakes that lead to import errors. Trust me, this is where you can really save yourself hours of frustration. The most successful QuickBooks users spend just as much time prepping their chart of accounts as they do importing it. So what does preparation look like? First off, you need to get your data cleaned up. By that, I mean make sure your chart of accounts is free from duplicates and inconsistencies. Think of it like cleaning your house before guests arrive. If your COA is cluttered with errors, QuickBooks will reject your import, and you'll be left sifting through error messages, wondering where it all went wrong. Here's a little secret that could save you a lot of time. Back up your QuickBooks data before you import anything. This should be your golden rule. Too many users import data without creating a backup, and if something goes wrong, which it often does, they don't have a clean version to revert to. Next, make sure your COA file is formatted correctly. QuickBooks is incredibly picky about file formats. It expects certain columns to be there, such as account name, account type, and detail type. I've seen users spend hours trying to figure out why their import failed, only to realize it was because they missed a column. Excel and CSV formats are your best bet, but be meticulous about the details. Every single field has to match what QuickBooks expects. Step-by-step guide to importing your chart of accounts into QuickBooks. Okay, now we get to the good stuff. Actually importing your chart of accounts into QuickBooks. This is where most people tend to get anxious, but don't worry, we're going to walk through it step by step. By the end of this section, you'll be importing your COA like a pro. Here's the thing about QuickBooks. It's powerful, but it's also quite particular. So follow these steps carefully. First, log into QuickBooks and navigate to the Settings icon in the upper right corner. From there, select Import Data, and then Chart of Accounts. This is where you'll upload your CSV or Excel file. Now, once you've selected your file, QuickBooks will ask you to map the fields. This is where you make sure that each column in your file corresponds to a specific field in QuickBooks. For instance, your account name should map to the account name field in QuickBooks, and your account type should map to account type. If you've formatted your file correctly, this step will be a breeze. If not, this is where you'll hit a roadblock. After mapping, you'll click Import, and QuickBooks will process the file. If there are any issues, you'll get a notification with details about what went wrong. Here's a tip. Always review this error log carefully. Even a small issue, like an extra space or a missing character, can cause the entire import to fail. Fix the errors in your file, re-upload, and you should be good to go. Troubleshooting common import issues. Let's talk about troubleshooting, because let's face it, things don't always go smoothly when dealing with software imports. I'm sure some of you have tried importing a file only to be met with error after error, and I get it. It's frustrating. But here's the silver lining. Most of these errors are easy to fix if you know where to look. One of the most common issues? Duplicate accounts. If your file has multiple accounts with the same name, QuickBooks will reject them. The solution is simple. Make sure each account name is unique. If you absolutely need 2 accounts with similar names, add a modifier. For example, instead of bank account, you could have bank account 1 and bank account 2. Another frequent problem is mismatched account types. QuickBooks has strict rules about which accounts can be classified under certain types. For instance, you can't label an expense account as a liability. So if you get an error about an invalid account type, double-check your file and make sure everything is categorized correctly. And here's another tip for you. If you're migrating from another accounting system, don't assume that QuickBooks uses the same account types. You might need to tweak your COA to fit QuickBooks' framework. This is especially important if you're coming from a less robust system, where the account classifications might be more flexible. Advanced tips for customizing your COA post-import. So you've successfully imported your chart of accounts. Congratulations! But we're not done yet. In fact, the real magic happens after the import. This is where you can really optimize your COA to fit your business needs. Too many people stop after the import and just use the default settings, but that's a huge missed opportunity. One of the most powerful features in QuickBooks is its ability to customize your accounts. For example, you can create sub-accounts to break down your financial data even further. Let's say you have a travel expenses account. You could create sub-accounts for airfare, hotel, and meals. This gives you a more granular view of where your money is going, which is incredibly useful for budgeting and tax preparation. And don't forget about account numbering. QuickBooks allows you to assign numbers to your accounts, which can be a game changer for keeping things organized. If you have a large chart of accounts, numbering can help you quickly locate specific accounts and make your financial reports easier to read. Tailoring your COA for your industry. Now, one thing that doesn't get talked about enough is how different industries need different chart of accounts setups. A retail business has very different financial tracking needs compared to, say, a law firm or a construction company. This is where a lot of people go wrong. They use a generic COA setup without tailoring it to their specific business model. For example, if you're in retail, you might want to include accounts for inventory and cost of goods sold. But if you're running a service-based business, you might want to focus more on labor and project expenses. Understanding the nuances of your industry will help you design a COA that serves you better and gives you more insight into your financial performance. Maintaining your COA for long-term success. So here's a little secret. Your COA is not a set-it-and-forget-it aspect of your business. Just like you wouldn't neglect your car's maintenance, you shouldn't neglect your chart of accounts. A well-maintained COA can provide clarity and control over your finances, but it requires regular attention. Schedule quarterly reviews of your COA to ensure it's still meeting your needs. As your business evolves, so should your accounts. During these reviews, check for any accounts that might be obsolete or any new categories that should be added based on your business activities. And if you have multiple users accessing QuickBooks, consider using the audit log to track changes made to your COA. This can help you catch any unauthorized changes and prevent potential mistakes before they snowball into bigger issues. So there you have it. Everything you need to know about importing and managing your chart of accounts in QuickBooks. From preparation to troubleshooting and even maintaining your COA for long-term success, we've covered all the essential bases. If you followed along, you're now equipped with the tools and knowledge to handle your COA like a pro. But don't stop here. This is just the beginning of mastering QuickBooks and your business's financial health. If you found this video helpful, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss another tip or tutorial. At Education Bench, we are dedicated to empowering business owners and accountants with the skills they need to thrive. Join us for even more in-depth training and resources tailored to your needs. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Remember, with the right tools and knowledge, you can transform your financial management skills and propel your business towards success.